Hey, everybody, hope you're doing well. Look on the screen, look on the screen. Here comes the judge, Honorable J. Cedric Simpson. Look on the screen. You've probably seen this before. Why are we here? Because an 80-year-old grandmother, she's right here. She wants her 20-year-old grandson like totally out. You're not going to believe the sad, shocking excuse that he gives. Not going to play the whole thing in its entirety, but I'm going to play an important excerpt. I don't know if we should start out with the jingle. What was that LL Cool J? I'm gonna knock you out. Huh. Mama said knock you out. Huh. Grandma just wants him out. But one thing I noticed that she mentioned is that he loves to play video games. Oh, he loves to play video games. He gets maybe a couple of checks, and there's a reason to always quit the job. So I can come to one conclusion. He don't wanna grow up. He's a dust bucket kid. They've got a million things at Toys R Us that he can play with. From bikes to trains to video games. It's the biggest toy store there is. Gee whiz! He don't wanna grow up. Cause baby, if he did, he couldn't live off grandma's ends. 80 years old, you gotta be kidding me. Check it out.
All right. Your grandmother wants you out of her house. How old are you? How long has she been asking you to leave?
Not really asking me to leave, asking me to do better, Your Honor.
What do you mean by do better? What does she mean?
Well, it's not really a video game, just I can do way better as in like get my diploma. I finished school, Your Honor.
So you didn't finish school?
No, sir.
Why?
Your Honor, that's a good question.
I know it's a good question. I want an answer. Why didn't you finish school?
Great question.
Give me a great answer. Why didn't you finish school? Look, young man, let me just tell you right now.
I understand that.
Don't listen to me.
Yes, sir.
You can sit there and disrespect your grandma. You're in my house now. Do not disrespect me. If I ask you a question, you better give me an answer. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
She's got to love you. I don't.
So I'm gonna go ahead and fast forward to where it gets very interesting. Blame the women for everything. Let's go ahead.
Your Honor,
You know
I
what?
know my story sounds biased.
No. Yeah, I'm just saying.
And he gave some story where he said his grandfather told him his job, the job that he worked, should not be no more than 10 miles away from the home. So the jobs that he was finding, they were 20 miles away from the home. Ergo, he sure and heck couldn't take those jobs.
He passed now. He said, or I don't know, it was either one of them, that my job could not be more than 10 miles out. So the last job that I had, so I couldn't get no more warehouse jobs on it because they would not take me there. Not that they would not take me there. They said my job should be 10 miles out. So I respected it. I would look for jobs that was 10 miles in. That's how I got that oil job, etc. Then after the oil job was fulfilled,
You know
I
what?
know my story sounds biased.
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You are a grown man in your grandmother's house.
Yes, Your Honor.
Don't have a job. Don't have an education. She has to come to the court. She's asked you to leave, and she has to come to court to ask you to get you out of her house.
I don't really think she asked me to leave, Your Honor.
Well, she has now.
I understand that.
So when are you getting out of your grandmother's house? Because you're not doing her any good. She has not asked anything of you that you can't do. If you put your mind to it, you can go back and get your education. If you put your mind to it, you can get a job. And if you got a job that's more than 10 miles out, that's just an excuse. Because if you got to get there and she can't drive it, you start huffing it. You get to your job. She has not asked. Everything that she said is not anything you can't do. You just don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't want to do it, she's just not asking that much of you.
You're right.
Oh, I know I'm right. Ma'am, let me ask you. If he did these things, would you let him stay?
I want him to leave because he needs to grow up.
Got it.
I don't want him to stay because they always compare their father, because they said I ruined their father. And if he stays in my house, people are going to say I'm ruining him.
Now listen to this part.
So they blame me for the men that stayed in my house, and my son and him. And I'm not really, I don't mind being blamed, but I know they're not to tell him the truth. But he needs to be out on his own,
Okay.
learning some skills, learning something. And I wrote in my letter that I wrote to the court, the men in that family seem to stay home a lot. One of them has skills. He has an uncle that has automatic skills, taught him a lot about auto mechanics. Those men are always at home, always home, doing nothing after they, work for a while. So we want him to be on his own, get a job, and be self-secure, not depending on somebody else. I'm 80 years old. He can't depend on me too long. His sister is 22. She's not going to take care of him. His mother is deceased a long time ago. His daddy, I don't know where my son is in Baltimore. So we want him to be self-sufficient. A young man, we're not mad at him, but I can see that he likes those video games day in and day out, talking to the people, screaming and yelling at the people who's playing games with. You think he's talking to somebody right there next to him. So that's what he likes to do, and that's terrible to do that all day. I mean, not all day, but half today and half tonight. He needs some skills to take care of himself and the family if he ever has one.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you got to say?
I just want to ask you, who is we?
Excuse me?
Who is we?
I can't understand. I can't hear
Who
you.
is we?
We?
Yeah.
Diamond and me, his sister. His sister has had several jobs, and she got him a job, and she works now she has a full-time job as a police officer. And so the women in that family seem to keep jobs, get jobs. His uncle, who has two daughters, they both went to, they did, I think, Army, and one did the other. The men in that family, they don't take care of themselves very long. His uncle now, who's at home with his mother because she's sick, but I heard him say at least 10 years ago, I'll never leave my mother. And he didn't. He's taking care of her now, but he's kind of sick. But they don't go out. They stay home too long.
What do you want to say?
She said, my sister, I literally was just now talking to my sister about this situation because she was in the crib when I was in court. Well, in the Zoom. And also, all the people she's comparing to are drug addicts. Drug addicts. I am not no drug addict, Your Honor.
Okay.
But
so,
my sister was just talking to me about possibly going to military, dog courts, etc. And I said I'm willing to do that. But there are armed reach out because I don't have my diploma, Your Honor.
I know, because you didn't stay in school.
Wow.
So, when are you leaving?
That's the thing, Your Honor.
No. Maybe I'm phrasing this like this is an option.
I understand you 1,000%, Your Honor. I respect you.
I don't care whether you respect me. I ask you a question. When are you leaving?
I'm not answering, Your Honor.
Okay, then I'm going to give you 10 days. Maybe you don't understand this. So let me make it real clear. I give your grandmother a judgment, which I'm going to give her. It's going to say 10 days. You're not out in 10 days. She's going to file another piece of paper with the court, call it an order of eviction or a writ. I'm going to sign it. At that point, you're on borrowed time. And on that point, Phil, if you don't leave, there will be sheriffs showing up to take you out. Yeah. What do you want to ask?
Like she just now said, my sister has a great job, Your Honor. my sister,
He's
I only have to speak on my sister, but the conversation I literally just had with my sister was that my nana, she was saying my nana don't care if I do all them things, Your Honor. And I stopped doing some of the things that she said stop doing. As long as I try, or not try, I do better, get my diploma, set to go to job course, military center, Nana wouldn't care. But since they are not here, and my sister has a big influence over what my Nana thinks, because she's older, and like she said, she has a good job, etc. This conversation, Your Honor, went purely down the drain.
Okay. So when are you leaving?
I got 10 days, Your Honor. I can say goals.
Oh, I know.
One thing he likes, they like to make a lot of money, but they didn't have any skills to make the money. He also wants to tell the people what to do. He tells the bosses. He doesn't listen to them. He thinks he should tell them what to do. And I try to tell him, no, you don't tell bosses what to do. I ain't doing that or whatever. I don't know how he says it. But you can't tell a boss what to do when he's paying you money. I mean, that's your job. You got to do what the boss says to do. But I mean, I don't hate my grandson.
I know.
But I know I want him out of that house to do something for himself, because I can see him. Who's going to lean on? His other grandmother is very, very ill. I'm not ill yet, but who knows when? Since I don't know who's going to lean on.
You want to say?
The stuff she's saying about my job, Your Honor, she does not know the truth about my job department. She's going off based off what she thinks, Your Honor. A lot of stuff she's saying, it honestly don't even tell you, honest. Like, I lost this conversation, I walked in the door. That's a fact. The conversation I had with my sister that I know influences what my nana thinks is entirely different than how this conversation is now with y'all. Entirely different. I know I lost.
And one last thing.
Yes, ma'am.
One last thing. When we told him that we had to put him out, well, not we, but me, then he said he's going to sell. So.
Did you hear that? I have heard this before someone. So if she puts him out, he said he's going to end his life, y'all.
Well, not we, but me. Then he said he's going to sell. So I don't know why he wants to kill himself. That's a coward's way out of doing something. What for? You've been treated with kindness. Nobody's been beating you up in the head, killing you. We only ask you to get a job and, to go to Job Corps to get yourself together, help yourself.
So did you hear that? When they say that they want to put him out, he says he's going to unalive himself. No. Are you kidding? I have heard this by two people that I know, the kids. One was Dusty Dan, one was OTT. I'm gonna unalive myself. Wouldn't it be better to get a job? That's a sympathy play.
That I know influences what my nana thinks is entirely different than how this conversation is now with y'all. Entirely different. I know I lost.
And one last thing.
Yes, ma'am.
One last thing. When we told him that we had to put him out, well, not we, but me, then he said he's going to sell. So I don't know why he wants to kill himself. That's a coward's way out of doing something.
Ma'am, he has no intentions, in my opinion, of unaliving himself. If anything, you better hope he doesn't do it to you.
Or 7. Doing nothing but playing those games half the time. But he'll do it, take out the garbage. He'll dishes when you, after a while, he'll clean up his room. But that's not my, I mean, the point, I put him out of there to be on his own, because that's
Okay.
what I'm looking at. So
Well,
I'm tired of folks blaming me for me and my family doing nothing. I'm the blame.
well, you're gonna get your wish. I'm gonna grant judgment to the plaintiff, finding that there's no tribal issue. An order of eviction or writ will issue. You got 10 days, young man.
He got 10 days. Just like Umar says, you got 2 weeks, you got 10 days. Did you notice she mentioned how that the men of the family don't work very long and they are dependent upon the women? It's a cultural thing. And then they're blaming Meemaw. Blame Meemaw. He got 10 days to get out. So the dust buckets, lazy, entitled young people, they will pull any card. I'm going to unalive myself. Well, if that's what you choose to do, hope not, but that way you'll be permanently out. Don't buy into it. I am concerned. I wish there was a follow-up, because sometimes people say things like that. Oh, they're going to be fine. The one that's not going to be fine is one that's staying there. See, she's 80 years old. I think sometimes these older people take in the family members, what have you. I think some of these young ones might think, oh, it could be any day now. It could be any day. And then maybe, since they're already there, crying out loud, well, I'm already here. Something happens, this is my spot. Not knowing that, hello, dum-dum, let's see, if the mortgage probably 80 years old, the house probably paid for, and he probably knows that. There's probably a wheel of other people in line besides you. You're doing minimal things. He took the garbage out, cleaned his room. Ooh-wee! How are you going to pay the insurance, the taxes, the utilities? See, at this point, he may not see him as a threat, and I'm not saying he's violent, but knowing how a lot of young people are like that Dusty Dan, his grandmother fell, so he sat. Getting out the tub, then why didn't you call 911? No, he put her body in the freezer and kept on staying in that house. Why? That's what he wants. He wants his own place, but he can't afford it right now. So I think some of them may have the mindset with the elderly, oh my gosh, they're old. I'm still, oh yeah, it might be any day now. And then what? Well, I'll be the last one standing. I think that they think this will be my spot. This will be my spot. This is now my house. And who heard of an excuse? So you need a job, and you say, well, my granddad, before he passed, he said, the job that I get shouldn't be no more than 10 miles away. So if a job is 20 miles away, and first he said, well, they wouldn't take me. Then he kind of recanted that. He clawed that back, and he was like, well, they would take me. So you have no money, you need a job, and it's 20 miles away in your transportation, so you're not going to take it? Then you don't have life skills. You don't have common sense skills. Or maybe you're just lazy. But if they put him out, he's going to unalive himself. I would just let him know, well, don't do it in here, because don't mess up my floors, don't mess up my furniture. We don't need the hazmat crew up in here, so just if you're going to do that. I don't buy it at all. Anything and he's 20 to avoid working. 20! Again, I think when they're with the elderly, they might think in their minds, oh yeah, she's old. He or she is old. Pretty soon, what? All this will be mine. You won't be able to keep it. Who's going to pay the utilities? The taxes, the insurance, the upkeep. So he made a statement to her that he would, if they put him out, it's a bluff. Again, I would say one thing. When you going to do it, today or tomorrow? Because that's a very serious issue. People that do that, unfortunately, they don't tell you. They just normally just do it. I've seen this with two people, and they were both men. Let me know what you all think. If they put him out, he's going to take himself out today or tomorrow. And where? Because I will let him know, don't do it here. Anything to not work. But my concern is her safety. That's my concern. Because sometimes the one time they're going to, unalive themselves, they might unalive somebody else. In closing, he don't want to grow up. He's a Toys R Us kid. They got a million things at Toys R Us that he can play with, from bikes to trains to video games. It's the biggest toy store there is. He don't want to grow up, because baby, if he did, he couldn't live off grandma's ends. Anyway, let me know what you all think. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. And I'm out. I gotta stop all this singing. I can't help it.